What? I understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest. That's why. What's going on, everybody? Lord Jones with Midnight Comics here, and welcome to this first episode of Season 2 of Indie Breakdown, where we take all your favorite indie comic book characters, lay out their stats, powers, and abilities for their eventual indie versus matchup. And today, we have another member of the Concrete family, Anaji himself. We're going to talk about all the characters and stuff that he's got, specifically Odina. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Anaji himself. What's going on, boss?
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. We here, Season 2, Episode 1, and you popping it off.
Oh, good. Look at me. Leading with your best foot forward.
There you go. So, you've been in the game for a second. You got five issues out for Odina. Correct me if 4 issues out.
4.
5 and 6 are going to be dropping at some point soon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the inspiration first, man. How did Odina come to be?
Odina came to be when, because originally when I created a comic book, it wasn't actually Odina. It was the Devin Lennox character. I was going to do it originally from his perspective. But when I was doing my research on a lot of indie creators, it was like a lot of them had, the male characters. So I didn't want to typically get shuffled in with the rest. And I was like, well, there's not many black female characters. Like, you can't initially count on one hand, like, how many there are. I mean, before now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's very few and far between.
Yeah, like, you could literally go up to before 2020, maybe, or before Black Panther. You could literally go up to anyone and be like, name at least 5 black female superhero characters, and they probably would be like Storm. And then they'll go pause after that because that's the one. So I was like, well, why don't I create, an African American female superhero? And then I remember watching The View one day. Yeah, don't judge.
No, you good. I used to watch it. Don't get mad. I ain't mad at it.
And I remember Whoopi Goldberg was like, when the first Avengers came out, like, that's how long it's been. She was like, I don't see me in the films. She was like, I don't see me in there. I was like, well, I guess there you go. Ding, ding, ding. And then I was thinking of my nieces, how, like, I have, like, all the women in my family, like, they don't see themselves in that aspect when it comes to Avengers and that type of stuff. So I was like, well, let me create this character, kind of based off, some of these personalities I'm surrounded by, like, every time, when I go home. So, yeah.
Okay. See, I like that. Now, I got to say, I really like that picture in the background behind you, that bottom left. That's Odina right there?
That was done by the artist Ashley Williams.
Which one?
Ashley Williams. She I got her at when I went to Dragon Con one year.
Okay.
I got Odina piece.
Yeah, that's fire, bro. There's another picture that I seen, and I was just like, it's similar pose, and I'm just like, this picture of Odina. I'm like, man, she's come a long way.
Yes,
come a long way. I was looking at some of the older pictures. I'm just like, just seeing the progression, man. I'm just like, So I think I said this to you a couple years back, but just reiterating again, like, Odina was like my favorite character and favorite story in the Concrete camp for a minute, because like you get. And I was explaining this to Logic because he was asking me what my favorite one is. He was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, Odina up there for me." You were taking it back. I think so, because I was just like, you get so much of the personality of Odina so early. I think in the early days, I think we're seeing in indie now, people are acclimating a little bit more. But like even when we first came in, it felt like there was a lot of rushing. Like, I don't know if I'm getting the next issue. So let me put exposition about the event and the story, but I don't know the character, right? But with Odina, you get the personality, you get, the attitude, you get who she is and the relationship with the people, and you see it play. So it's so integral to the story. So kudos to that. She's still top tier for me. So let's get into the powers then, bro. What all can she do?
Well, I wanted to create her so she would be on par with the Supergirls and the Power Girls and them. So, like, she, I kind of go by you ever seen the Marvel trading cards where they would give you The ratings, yeah. So I usually go by that in my mind. But I wanted someone who is just as strong and invulnerable and just as indestructible as Supergirl, but just as reckless as a Power Girl.
I like
And
that.
yeah, but still just as kind of like, still hold her own. Like she's gonna be one of, the big guns you go to. So and to be honest with you, being that she is, a unique individual, like I've had power sets for Odina that I haven't yet to reveal. And this
Ooh,
actually, yeah, she'll come into that in the volume 2 of the
okay,
story. Start to see like an evolution of her into possible. I won't say godhood, but
okay. Right. Well, that tracks with what you've already laid the groundwork for in the first four issues. You see, so I guess that's really exciting for me because, like, of course, we see the superhero strike and stuff like that, but to see that there's still a level of progression, like I know one of the things that held her back until the humbling, if we would, was just kind of her demeanor, right? Like
yeah,
she was there's nobody to really contend with. She's her,
no, yeah,
and so now it's like, okay, let me take this serious.
yeah,
Let me get the training in. But to hear that there's even further progression beyond that point, I'm definitely excited.
yeah. Yeah, and that's why I love, and and that's what I like about the show, Invincible. Like, even a
Yeah.
character overall is just like he sees himself as this invincible character, but he is, but he's not really because he
Mhm.
gets handled
Cause he
like
get whooped on, boy.
he constantly gets whooped. But there's a story there where he's gonna evolve, and that's what
Hmm.
I love about the characters of books is seeing the characters go from that story arc to like where they are now. And so with Odina, I kind of want to do that where it's not she just coming out the gate like moving mountains and stuff. I want it to be like a
Right.
slow build up. Yeah,
Because how do you build the stakes at that point if she can do everything day
yeah,
one? You
yeah,
know, So all right, so let's dive deeper then with that. So we know so from just basically reading the books, we got superhuman strength, flight, speed, I guess we'll dive into as well.
yeah,
But let's scale that. Like how I know we made the comparison of a Supergirl and Power Girl and stuff like that. At this
yeah.
point in time, what's she lifting right now? You know what I'm saying? What is she dropping mountains on people or is there a limit under that?
She could actually move a mountain if she could.
Okay.
Yeah. But in her head, she's not going to because
Okay.
she's thinking like she could do some damage, but she don't know her limits per se. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So,
Okay.
but trust me,
You don't
like
know
what
your-
I got planned for Odina, you're gonna be like, oh snap! Like
Okay.
I'll say this: one involves like moving a city, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Volume two. Here we go. Yo. Okay. So now, right up, Tasha Pika from around the corner, like, sir. So okay. So for right now, then,
Yeah,
so we know that. Well, she's really just throwing her weight around. Like she doesn't
yeah,
know to an extent. What is she knowingly able to do now in regards to
yeah.
those strongest feats?
I would say the battleships, like she can definitely probably like
Okay.
yeah, so like that type
Okay.
of level. Yeah,
So then the next one, and this is the one. So talking about speed, because I
yeah,
know in issue one, she's talking to the squad, and they're like, "Hey, we need your backup," and then boom, 5 seconds later,
yeah.
she's there. How fast is she moving?
Now Mach 3 is her speed flying through there. Like yeah, she's booming through, and that's still like she got to get going. Like it's
Okay.
not she's not like Flash where she just takes off. Like it's kind of like
Okay. Momentum.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Now
yeah,
I want to ask about durability,
yeah,
and again, my one of my the humbling. I remember you kept saying she's gonna get humbled, and that's stuck with me since that
yeah,
humbling. The question is the durability. Now,
yeah,
obviously, we know about Lady T. We know she built different, but
yeah.
what kind of damage? What can humanity throw at Odina that would have dished out that same level of impact, or been able to humble Odina in that type of way? Is there anything that we could have done, or is this just God tier combat?
Well, honestly, it could poison.
Mm, okay.
Like all you want to know is that like even like with her level, like, because even though that is a god tier level, like ass kicking she took,
Mm-hmm.
like, and she still was able to take it because she has a higher vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, from the inside, a lot of people don't know, sometimes special poisons can do the work.
Gotta do the job.
Yeah,
Okay. And then reverting back slightly, then what kind of like if we shot like tank rounds at her, she
yeah,
ain't really gonna be affected. But like if
no,
we, bunker buster type joint, she might need to watch out.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Now, of course, all this is preparation for Indy versus Bachelor. So, like, if you end up on the randomizer where I'm just kind of like, obviously, if she goes against, we interviewed Deja Vu a while back too. Obviously, she goes against Deja Vu. We know what's happening there, right? But no shots, diary. But that's outside the weight class.
yes,
You
I
got a
got
character like All Star, by Ronnie Creates, and he pulls energy from stars and stuff like that. But
yeah,
now we got a question of, the tiers of, gods and stuff in the concrete universe, right? Versus somebody that can pull energies from all the stars in the galaxy.
yeah,
Like, where would that stack up type thing? So that's what I'm trying to gauge at the moment. So
I got you.
what's the power output, I guess, would be of Lady T in comparison to, so is she punching with the weight of a LexCorp missile right now, or
Well, here's the thing with the axe in her hand, she's punching like shattering, like planet type punches. That's what I'm saying.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, dang, okay, wait a second, yeah, she took quite a bit of those and got back up. Okay,
Without the axe, she can still do some. It's like minor damage, but it ain't going. It's not like it's like average superhuman strength damage. But yeah,
okay,
with the axe, it's like divine power. It's like
jeez,
celestial power. So yeah, that's why
okay,
when she knocked her off her feet in issue 3, and she
uh-huh,
got one solid punch in.
mm-hmm.
That was a feat for
Right,
because
for Odina, yeah. And honestly, I was rereading that portion, and I'm just like, yo, because even she smiled when she was on the way, getting ready to get hit. When Odina was on her way back, about to hit her, Lady
yeah,
T smiled like, yeah, let me see what this girl is about right
yeah.
now. Like, I love every bit of that because they
Like
treat.
that was something I said in issue 5, which I can't drop, that even like my editor was cracking up at like what Odina said. So I wish I could tell you what she says. So,
Oh
like
yeah, I don't want to be spoiled. Like I don't want to be spoiled. I want to read it with the rest of the folks. The story is fire, bro. The story is
thank
fire.
thank you so much.
I want to talk about her training. Like, what kind of
Yeah,
level of training? Because from what we see, she feels more like a brawler, right? But I don't
yeah,
want to assume that's the case because people say the same thing about Superman. But really,
yeah,
you find out, oh, he knows Kryptonian martial arts, other stuff. So what? Pre-training Odina, right?
yeah,
What did she have? And then, of course, if you want to dive into what she's done in issue 4, I guess, as far as we know in regards to her training at that point,
yeah.
where she stands.
So on the Marvel scale, that level 7, 1 through 7, she'll
Mhm.
probably be a 4, which is normal human with average combat training. I mean, she's
Okay.
trained in combat, just hand, unarmed, all that stuff. She's not going to be a martial artist yet. She's not like superb skill like that, but she's definitely still quick on her feet. Where she's going to like punches, kickers. She knows defenses, all that stuff. So she's
Okay.
definitely like a level 4. In issue 4 she receives additional training. Now, Sister Asima is like she's skilled. Like she knows like levels to like take a person down even with her fingers. So she's only going to teach Odina kind of like like more like defense like tactics and also when to like punch, where to hit people and that type of stuff. So she's
Okay.
giving her a level up, but it's going to be more that she'll teach her eventually because yeah.
Okay. And out of curiosity, how long has Sister Seema been around for?
She's been around for a minute. She has her own little story, but she's been
Okay.
around for a minute too. She's older than she looks. So
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know, like how she carries herself. I'm just like, because she was walking with I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name, the bald headed guy that showed
Yeah,
up
Aaron
before.
Doofus.
Yes, and that we know that he's been around for a second. So that's
Yes.
So okay. Like just how she carried herself and who she was traveling with. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So okay, we've got training, we got speed, we got the durability. Let me. Is there? And this is not necessarily in the book or anything like that. I guess I was gonna say
Yeah.
outside of just some straight hands, bro. Is there some hidden ability? Yeah, I guess it's kind of spoilery, but okay. All right, I see the facial expression. I see the facial expression. um, so okay. Okay. So there are some abilities there. So I'll ask this: does it?
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. One that
Ladies and gentlemen, here on Indie Break.
um so she will have she'll develop like her voice will do this thing where she like it hits a note. I
Mm-hmm.
call it I call it the 808 where it's like a boom note where she can shout it out and it kind of like it could level some shit. So like not like a sonic cry, but kind of like this one note would go boom and like it kind of like ricochets like it shatters stuff. So like I call it her 808, but yeah, because it's
Volume
like
2, and we're only 2 issues away from that point. But would you get to volume 2 at this point now? Because this is it. 5 and 6 next year.
yeah. Who says far might not be sooner?
Okay, watch out. Watch out. Hold on. Listen,
God
if
bless
you
you.
surprise us with that 2023 still, if you surprise us with that, boy, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. No, so healing factor
Yes.
is that she has that to an extent because, like,
Yeah.
obviously she got her tail whooped before she
Yeah.
was functional. How, if you were to rank the healing factor that she has, from characters in mainstream, what would we be looking at in regards to comparison, like Deathstroke or like Wolverine?
I'm trying to think. I guess she would definitely be more like on the lines of like Wonder Woman.
I see.
Her divine blood, like
Hmm.
kind of like on that level, that type of healing, where it's not gonna be like I don't know, say like it's I don't know, is that the same as Deadpool in them? Like I've never seen Wonder Woman.
No. So like Deadpool, I mean, yeah, he'll get his whole head chopped off, limbs chopped off all over the place, and come back.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman ain't coming back from that.
yeah. So okay,
Um,
so yeah, for
okay.
her it's definitely more like a accelerated healing type thing, more like from I don't know about limbs since she's already invulnerable. So
Mhm. Okay.
yeah,
Oh yeah, Tasha in the background says it's like Flash, where he'll heal a little faster.
yeah,
But okay, but if it's a
yeah,
death wound, like nah, it's a death wound. He's out of there.
yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
Um, Another question then: can she? Obviously, we haven't seen this in the. I don't. No, we haven't seen this in the story. Can she breathe in space by chance?
You know what? No, she can't. She can go like a few seconds, but no, she cannot.
Okay.
And this was brought up amongst another character, who I'm not going to say. And the other character said that he was going to. Well, I can't say too much, but yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, no. But she eventually will though. But
Okay.
like
Um.
she can go up to a certain level, but she can't stay up there.
Okay. So durability wise, so she can for a couple seconds at the very
Yeah,
least it survived the vacuum of
yeah,
space.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's okay. And I know we talked about speed already. You said Mach 3.
yeah.
Okay. Now, in regards to, because of course that's like traversal speed, right? In regards to reacting to stuff, and I guess this would be kind of power scaling Lady T at the same time here. But how fast is she reacting to punches or, let's say, somebody shooting a machine gun and stuff at her? Is she doing the Wonder Woman? Is she blocking that, or is she kind of like Flash or Quicksilver, where she's just kind of getting out of the way? Like, all
No,
right,
she kind of like Superman, where she's just gonna take it.
okay,
Yeah,
it don't even matter. Like, okay, man.
yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna be like, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, she ain't doing all this, none of that. No, she ain't that quick. So
So then with that, let's talk about the level of control then with her strength, right?
mhm.
So with how strong she is there was there let's go back further. when she's born with these abilities? Or are we gonna, or is that she's born with these abilities, or these abilities popped up later on? Okay,
she's born. So her actual origin is not what it seems. I wonder if I should reveal it. I mean,
oh no.
okay.
We'll go and read it. If y'all want to know the full origins and everything like that, y'all make sure y'all pick up everything he got going on as it
Yeah.
relates to the character
Yeah.
Odina.
Like, I'll tell you, like, yeah, it's like I will say this. Even Lady T is tied into her origin. So
Okay. You said what time? She said she thought she was half god. Well, she's like a hybrid of some sort.
yeah,
Yeah. Um. Okay. So why I was asking that was to figure out like the level of control that she has with these abilities, right? Because obviously, like even flying at Mach 3, just going over, to the city
yeah,
of Atlanta, it's like, you just broke all the glass in those buildings just now.
yeah.
So like the level of control, what kind of does she have full mastery of what she knows her abilities to be? Or is this still
Oh,
something that she's
still,
okay?
because remember in issue 2, she's not like. Remember, she had the guy drop the location for the thing. She didn't have like that know-how of like where she was going or like where to see the building and thing. Like, let me know where I'm going because I'm gonna be going in like a little too hot. So that's why I just.
Okay. And then how old is she at this point?
She's like 26, so she's still
Okay.
young.
See, I like. Oh yeah, you were on it. You was about to say 26, isn't you, bro? So what? That's another thing that huh?
Tosh know what she's talking about.
Right, slick. That's one of the things I'm enjoying with your story and a couple others where they don't have all the answers. They don't have it all together. Like it's still like like it's a learning curve still. Like
Yeah,
these powers, we wake up with the powers tomorrow. No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna go test it out and be like, I'm gonna see if I can push this mountain. I don't care to do all that. I don't care to do all that.
you don't think, especially like for us as people, like if we did have the powers, our main thing is be like, how I'm gonna get some money or food or something like that. We don't never think about like, I wonder if I can go do this and do that. Like you don't never think about that shit. You feel
No.
like I'm going flying to Paris or LA or something. Like,
Right. Oh, I could fly? Bet. Hopefully I don't get no bugs in my face type joint like that. Okay. Is that one of them there Celsius right there?
Exactly.
Oh yeah. This video has been brought to you by Celsius. No, I'm joking.
I know. Come on, get that sponsorship.
Listen. Let me sign up for that because I've been drinking them things like water. But okay. Just to finish that thought out really quick, a lot of the stuff that I read, in the past, a lot of times with your traditional superhero stories, you get just them doing the stuff. Like you might have the initial origin, we'll just use Batman example. Okay, Batman lost his parents. All right, he went off and trained. Don't worry about the specifics of the training necessarily. He did it, and he's just this guy now.
Yeah.
And then you have other stories later, to fit whatever the plot point is and say, oh yeah, he trained specifically for this. Or even like Green Lantern, like we know of it, he went off to Owa and trained, but we don't have like a full arc of his trial and error. It might be something that's glossed over. And so some of the things that I enjoy, but again, like I was saying with your story and several others, where it's like we're going through the process with the character. They've never tested the full limits of their powers. They never really cared to. They were already the strongest person. They were there. Why would they need to? And so that it's a more grounded take, I think, on receiving powers and going on with that. So anyway, that long-winded way of saying you're doing great. I love it.
Well, no, I appreciate it because that's why I wanted to kind of introduce us. Like we're finding out this whole new level of this world with her. So like like you say, like she was content on being the strongest one, but she found out that no, there's other people out there just as strong and more dangerous. So, but volume 2, like, because this first volume I want to just introduce the character and kind of like get you comfortable with. Volume 2, we about to drop you in the world. You about to see her like definitely more like kind of like adjusting to life after what happened in volume 1, and then also her, who she is. Yeah. So I can't wait. So
okay. And it's closer than we think.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm first in line. I'm just letting you know that now. I'm first in line for it. That's easily. Um, honestly, our oldest, she's a big fan of that. She loves Luna. So like she heavy in indie games. So y'all set the stage now. Y'all doing what y'all set out to do. She's over here staring at me right now. She's over here staring at me. But no, so that's all I got. Because all the rest of my questions I feel like is diving into spoilery territory, and I don't want that because I'm a fan. Um, so what I do want to have you do is go ahead and let the people know where they can pick up your stuff, and what to look forward to.
Yeah. You can catch me on so many platforms. So many. IG at Obsolete Studio LLC. Um, Twitter, Facebook, Concrete Universe group page. You know all that good stuff. I'm all look. I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to
He's
find.
like, I'm everywhere, bro. Oh, and Drafted Origins is out for everybody at this point, right? Nope. Y'all be on the lookout for Drafted Origins too. You get some more.
It was premiered at Black Film Festival.
Yes.
However, parts 2 and 3 are still editing.
Okay.
Part 1 we actually re-edited to add some more stuff to it. So trust me, not yet, but it's available for people who want to see it. Part
Okay.
1, yeah, but not to the public as of yet because we're trying to gear up for 2024. Like when I say like, and the way it's looking, part 2 and 3, like I can't wait to show everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow Obsolete Studios LLC. Everybody again. Of course, he's with Concrete Comics, so y'all can pick everything up at concretecomics.com. And don't forget, of course, we're Midnight Comics. Definitely check us out on all of our platforms. You see it down below, Midnight X Comics, everywhere except for Facebook or YouTube, where you can find us at Midnight Comics. And yeah, this was another indie breakdown episode.
Y'all not on Facebook?
We are on Facebook as well.
Oh.
We are on Facebook as Midnight Comics. He's like, wait a second, what? We are on Facebook as well. Yeah. So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in for another indie breakdown. Thank you for coming through, Anaji. And dude, remember everybody, midnight is coming.
Winter and midnight is coming.
Right.